Okay, Ellie, I want to try and explain something that I think is very critical. That when we examine the Christian case for Jesus, it's to a large extent built upon the claim that the Jewish Bible has many prophecies, many clues and hints that speak about the Messiah, and the Christian asserts that Jesus fulfilled these prophecies and therefore he must be the Messiah. What's interesting is that when we look at the bulk of these passages that Christians appeal to, they have a common thread. And the thread is that they all seem to be harping on clues that substantiate the fact that the suffering and death of Jesus was anticipated in the Bible. So, for example, missionaries will often point to the 22nd chapter in the book of Psalms, which they claim anticipates the crucifixion of the Messiah. And of course, every one of these passages can be cross-examined and debunked, because here this one is based upon both a quotation out of context and circular reasoning and a mistranslation. But be that as it may, they claim that this chapter in Psalms speaks about the crucifixion of the Messiah. But what's peculiar is that Jesus didn't claim to be the Messiah, or the claim wasn't only made that he was the Messiah after he was killed. Meaning that Jesus claimed to be the Messiah years before he was killed. And we know from the Christian Bible that in the Gospels, Jesus basically curses out anyone that won't accept him. So he was claiming to be the Messiah, and he was really rebuking anyone that wouldn't accept him years before any of these prophecies were fulfilled. It was years before Isaiah 53, years before Daniel 9, years before Psalms 22. And yet, even though none of these key messianic prophecies took place, Jesus was expecting and demanding that people accept him as the Messiah. The question is why? Why should someone have accepted the claim that Jesus was the Messiah while he was living? Because he was born in Bethlehem? Does that make him the Messiah? And so what often Christians will fall back on is, okay, I see that there aren't really anything, there's nothing really that's pressing or compelling in terms of the life of Jesus when he was alive, except they will fall back on the miracles that he did. They'll say that he must have been the Messiah because of the miracles he did. Now, it's significant that throughout the Bible we don't find any time where the prophets told us we will be able to identify the Messiah because he'll perform miracles. So it's significant that Christianity is forced to basically hinge and hang their entire case for Jesus on his performance of miracles, and the Gospels, the New Testament stories about Jesus, focus to a large extent on his miracles, and yet the Jewish Bible never tells us that miracles will be the way in which we will be able to identify the Messiah. And the reason that the Jewish Bible never makes that association is that we see from the scriptures that miracles really can't prove anyone is credible. The 13th chapter of Deuteronomy, God tells us that false prophets can do miracles, and that God is only allowing them the ability to do miracles to test us, to see if we're going to be loyal to follow him or follow anyone that has the ability to do these magic tricks. And then you get to the Christian Bible, and it even goes further. In the 24th chapter of Matthew, Jesus says that false messiahs are able to do miracles, incredible miracles that can lead even the elect astray. So if the false Messiah can do miracles, obviously the performance of a miracle can never prove someone's the Messiah. But the point I wanted to emphasize was that almost the most significant Christian messianic proof texts from the Bible in terms of prophecy only kick in after he's dead. They only come into effect after he's killed, and we're left with nothing really to allow Jesus to claim to be the Messiah when he's actually alive.